Welcome to the June 9th, 2025 meeting of the Florissant City Council. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
O'Donnell?
Here.
Pagano is absent. Siam? Here. Harris?
Here.
Manganelli? Here. Egan?
Here.
Caputa?
Here.
Childeroth is also absent. Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the meeting minutes of May 12th, 2025? Hearing none, Councilman Manganelli moves to approve the minutes, seconded by Councilman O'Donnell. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is a proclamation for Juneteenth presented to St. Louis County Councilwoman Shalonda Webb. Councilwoman Webb is not here this evening, so we will read this and present this to her at a later time.
Whereas on June 19, 1865, more than 250,000 enslaved people in the state of Texas received news that they were free and that the Emancipation Proclamation had declared all enslaved people to be free nearly 2.5 years earlier. And whereas since 1865, Juneteenth Day has been celebrated as a special day of celebration for freedom, and the celebration of this day has grown into a day of learning, sharing, and giving respect to the history, culture, and achievements of African Americans. And whereas on January 1st, 1980, Juneteenth officially became a Texas state holiday. Since then, the federal government, all 50 states, and the District of Columbia have also commemorated and recognized the day. And whereas the 117th Congress established Juneteenth National Independence Day and declared June 19th as a legal public holiday. This bipartisan legislation unanimously passed the Senate and passed the House by a vote of 415 to 14, becoming the 12th federal holiday recognized by the U.S. government. And whereas the people of Florissant recognize and honor the observation and celebration of Juneteenth on June 19th. Therefore, I, Timothy J. Lowry, Mayor of the City of Florissant, Missouri, and members of the City Council do hereby recognize June 19th as Juneteenth. This proclamation will be presented to County Councilwoman Shalonda Webb at the June 19th celebration.
Okay, and we do have a June 19th Juneteenth celebration. It's actually on the 19th, I believe. Is it on the 19th? It's on the 19th at St. Ferdinand Park, and it's been moved to the Duchesne Home Association. Okay, it's at the Duchesne Home Association, which is right next to the shrine, sometimes known as the Knights Grounds. I know that's. I think this is the third year. Yes. We'll say more about it later, but hope to see a lot of people there. Okay, our next item on the agenda is hearing from citizens. This is a time to speak to the council on any issue, not necessarily on the agenda, for 3 minutes. This is not a question and answer period. If you would like to speak to a council member or the mayor, please stay until after the meeting is over. If you are here to speak on a public hearing, please wait and speak when the public hearing is announced. Okay, we do have a card here. This is Mr. Walter Kaiser. Welcome, Mr. Kaiser. Oh, hang on. Let me turn you on. Sorry. Go ahead.
Walter Kaiser, 105 North St. Charles Street, Florissant, Missouri. I got a real problem. Haven't had it before this first time. I have absolutely no nominations for Veteran of the Year for Florissant. Now, I've asked you, and 2 or 3 of you have said, "I'm going to get me one," but I haven't gotten any yet. And basically the deadline is, as it always has been, is Labor Day, which is a few very short months, like 2, to get there. So, if you want to have a Veteran of the Year for Florissant, somebody needs to start getting that information to me so that I have something for my crew to go through. Any questions? The programs for it, with what the requirements are and so forth, are Florissant Veteran of the Year, and that's all you got to do is go online and start writing. Any questions? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. I just have a
And all
comment. I hope
ladies,
that-
too.
I hope that, people listening to this also, if someone knows in the community of someone that would be a good nomination, they can reach out to
Well,
us. We can forward that to you as well.
We have
Yeah.
over 3,000 veterans in Florissant,
Right.
and that's within the boundaries of Florissant, not just including the outside a little bit.
So there should be a
So-
lot of candidates out there. There should be a lot of candidates then.
There should be.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kaiser. Okay, I don't see any more speakers today. So let's move on to the next. The next section is communications, and there are no communications this evening. Next is, item on the agenda is public hearings. Public hearing number 2506013.
In accordance with 405125 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri, in the council chambers 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, June 9th, 2025 at 7 p.m. on the following proposition: to amend special use permit number 8097 to allow for a change in exterior wall stain colors for the property located at 370 North Highway 67.
Okay, is the petitioner present this evening? All right, would you please come forward, sir? Welcome. Will you state your name and your city?
Yep. First name is Avi. Last name is Kamlani, Chesterfield, Missouri.
Okay, Mr. Kamani, can you tell us about your project?
Yep. So I own the Jimmy John's here in Florissant. So I bought the building 10 years ago, and then I came over here to build a restaurant. So everything's been doing really well. I really enjoy it here in Florissant. Back in the day when I built the store 10 years ago, we we stained the building black. Every 10 years, Jimmy John's does a remodel, like just different color schemes, just to kind of keep the brand fresh. So now the new color code is light gray. There's an official code written down in what I sent in. So I'm requesting to change it from black to light gray, not paint it, but stain it. Same thing I did 10 years ago, just a different color. I think it would just make the corner look really well. If you guys have driven by it, the stain's kind of wearing off, so I just kind of want to beautify the area just because it's a prominent corner, busy traffic. So I think the light color will just help out. All black's kind of gloomy with the parking lot, so I just kind of want to make it pop a little bit. So the building, just want to stain it light gray, and then the ballards we're just going to do red just to kind of make it stand out, look sharp.
Good. Do you know if the other stain has to be removed, or if there has to be a cleaning process?
So
prior
great
to
question. I was here 30 days ago for a different meeting, and so I'm not a painter or stainer, but 2 questions were asked about like the quality and how it was going to work. So I asked Jimmy John's and the painter, and they assured me that the light gray would work. It would probably take a few quotes, but it would look sharp. Because that was one of the worries, was if you go from black to light gray, would it pierce through, or how it would work? And they said we should be fine.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the council? Okay. I don't see any. And we did receive the renditions of this and the color, so thank you for sending that along.
Awesome. Yeah, no problem.
And I guess that's it. Seeing no further comments, are Is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this? Okay. Seeing none from the audience, Councilman Cyan moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilman Egan. Motion carried. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, the motion carried. This public hearing is closed. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Public hearing number 2506014.
Sorry. In accordance with Section 405135 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri, in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, June 9th, 2025, at 7 p.m. on the following proposition: to rezone the property from B3 Extensive Business District to B5 Planned Commercial District for the property located at 1280 North Highway 67. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Okay, is the petitioner present this evening? Come on forward, sir.
Sorry.
Okay, will you state your name and your
Sure.
city? Thank you.
My name is Kerry Ploser. My address 4809 Twin Ridge Road, House Springs, Missouri, 63051. Good evening,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen of the Florissant City Council. Okay, sorry. Okay, so the address of this project is 1280 North Highway 67. The location map where that is. It's at the intersection of North 67 and Jefferson. Here is the site now. This is the building that's on there. It's 8 by 20, very small. So we're going to go in, we're going to take out all the asphalt, remove all the island here, and the building, obviously. The MoDOT has asked for us to close this entrance. The city has asked for us to close this entrance. So that's what we're going to do. So this would be the new site plan. Wow. So we're going to be putting in this building 35 by 85. And again, we're going to close this entrance and the entrance here on Highway 67. The elevations of the building, when we came to the architectural board, they asked for us to remove some of the stucco. So now we put brick along the front, brick along the two sides, and we're allowed to keep the building 2.5 feet off the back property line, so this is going to be the back elevation, concrete block. They asked for us to add a second entrance, so that's right here. Entrance and exit. The gas mart chain that Mr. Jabbar owns has 2 stores in the area, 420 Howder Shell and 12785 Newhall's Ferry, if anybody'd like to see those. Okay. Store hours will be 6 a.m. to midnight. And yeah, 30 by 85 is the 2,600 square feet for the new building.
Okay. Before I move on to some questions here, what is your role in the project?
Oh, I'm just part of the design team.
Okay.
I'm the surveyor, my MB engineering do the civil, and Rangwala Architects is doing the architecture.
Okay, wonderful. Councilman Egan.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is the first I've seen of the elevations. I don't know if they were left out of my packet or apparently none of us
No,
got
I didn't.
None of us got the elevations. Could you make sure that the elevations get forwarded to the city clerk so we can get them distributed to us? Number one. Will this establishment, this will be a gas station, convenience type store?
Yes, sir. Yeah, pretty much like all of them now. We got banks of frozen or cold drinks, It's going to be a beer cave right here.
So you will be selling alcohol?
Yes, sir.
What about the airplane bottles?
I'm sorry?
Airplane-sized bottles, little bitty ones, one-shot bottles. Those are a tremendous problem in our neighborhoods today because people walk out, take a shot, and throw them on the ground. What's the plan on those?
That I don't know. I think they already sell them in their stores, the other 2 stores that he has.
Yeah, I know one's in my ward, and if you want to walk with me tomorrow, if he was here, we could walk tomorrow and pick up about 500 of them. So you understand I'm not a fan of those airplane bottles. Secondly, how many entrances and exits will you have on the actual parking lot if you're closing one for us and one for MoDOT?
2.
2.
Yes, sir. So we're keeping, let's say north is up, we're keeping the eastern one here and the southern one down here.
Okay, very good.
So the ones closest to the intersection are hard to get in and out of anyway.
Very good. All right, well, when you speak to Mr. Jabbar, you can let him know that Councilman Egan is not a big fan of airplane bottles, and that'll be weighing on my vote anyway quite a bit because I already have one of his stores in my ward, which is a problem. So if you want to convene at him, he can call me. My number's public. I'd love to chat with him.
Okay.
That's all I have, Mr. President. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Egan. Councilman O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Can you tell me when approximately would you be starting, if approval is gained? When is the anticipation to start?
I don't know that yet.
And maybe an idea for how long for completion, or from the beginning to the end, how long would that take?
Well, I think it depends. The pumps, they asked if we're going to be replacing the pumps. I think they're going to dig them up and see if they need to be done. So I don't have a...
So it's variable at this point?
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. I would just reiterate then also what Mr. Egan said. Actually, this being in my ward, and I live a block or 2 from there, that would be a major concern for me too with those airplane bottles. I know that's subsequent to discussions about the design, but then I have another, since I frequent this establishment, I have another burning question. Where am I going to get gas in the meantime? Being facetious, I missed my joke.
Well, you know, they're going to be tearing the whole thing,
I
pretty
understand.
much gutting it, so
I understand.
it's going to take a while.
It's just a convenient place. So good luck with your project. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Councilman O'Donnell. Councilman Caputa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, welcome, sir.
Good evening, sir.
My question is that, do you use local contractors, or is this a national contractor that you use on different stores?
Well, he has his own guys that he uses. They are all local. So Mr. Jabbar hires all those people.
Because I like to see, I know Florissant's a very labor-friendly community, and I would suggest that you use local contractors with the signatory with the St. Louis Building Trades.
Okay.
And possibly even a minority contractor that's signatory with the building trades.
Okay.
And, let's see. What, is this gonna still be Phillips 66 or Amoco, or what gas would you guys be providing under this?
I think he'll stay with the 66. Is that the one in your ward, Mr. Egan? Is that a 66? Oh, is it?
Change, I think it's BP now. It was,
I apologize. I'm not sure of that.
it was a Citgo station, but it's changed. I think Councilman Magnelli is correct. I think it's a BP station now.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will check on that.
Okay, Councilman Egan brought up the alcohol airplane bottles. Or do you know, does the gas station currently have a liquor license?
I don't.
Not sure, okay.
Not
so
sure.
We want to check on that. There's no convenience store there, so I think you'd have to come back for that, and we need to,
To
check on.
get a liquor license?
Correct,
Okay.
correct. And we'll make sure we're within regulations for that as well. If there's any questions, please, contact City Hall or have Mr. Jabbar do that. We want to make sure that we have all our ducks in a row for that.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any more questions? Yes, hold on.
Just one for the city attorney. If I'm not mistaken, I don't believe a gas station we allow anything except for a beer and wine license. It's not a full liquor license at a gas station.
That's correct, yes. So gas stations, unless they're grandfathered in from annexation, which we only have one in the city, they're not allowed to have full liquor. It would be beer and wine only.
So then they won't be able to sell the little
Don't have
bottles.
to worry about those little bottles.
Yeah.
I think the one we have in my ward is grandfather. Is that right?
That's correct.
So it'd be good to clarify that with Mr. Jabbar, just make
I
sure
will.
he understands
I
that.
will.
Thank you.
So if they keep it the way it is, and they're selling liquor within that 8 by 20 building, is okay.
But they don't currently.
I don't think they do.
Right,
no.
so they wouldn't be grandfathered in at that location.
I just want clarity for
Yes,
myself, too.
yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay. Seeing no more comments or questions from the council, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? Okay, seeing no further comments, Councilman Caputa moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Mr. Manganelli. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. This public hearing is closed. Thank you. Public hearing number 2506015.
In accordance with Section 405125 of the Florissant zoning code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri, in the council chambers, 955 Rue St. Francois, on Monday, June 9th, 2025, at 7 p.m. on the following proposition: to allow a special use permit to authorize a special use permit to allow for a tavern cocktail lounge for the property located at 752 through 756 North New Florissant Road. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantmo.com.
Is the petitioner present? Would you please come forward? Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Would you
How
state your
everybody
name?
doing?
State your name and your city, and then tell us about your project.
Jamel Graham, Florissant, Missouri.
And then I'm Brittany Phelps, Wood River, Illinois.
Okay, wonderful. Will you tell us what you're looking to do here?
Okay, I looked to open a tavern at no cost at the door. R&B music only, no rap music. 30-year-old for females, 35 for guys. I'm just looking for a mature audience. And I don't need live entertainment like bands or stuff like that.
Okay. Councilman Zion.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for coming tonight. So I had just a few questions. I was going to ask about, so you're not planning on serving food, or you don't have a kitchen to speak of, but you might have one later? Is that, do I understand that
Just
correctly?
like pizzas and like stuff that don't require hood starting off.
Okay, but maybe later on, you
Yes,
might
sir.
have a kitchen or something. Okay. How loud would you say you'd be able to hear the music outside the store?
I hope not. I plan that too.
Okay. You don't think, I mean, it shouldn't be a very long distance, right, is what I'm hoping?
No, sir.
So, okay. And are you planning on having cover charges?
No, sir.
And what are your hours of operation going to be?
Around 2 to about 1:30 in the evening, closed on Mondays.
Okay, and one last question. The previous occupant had tinting on the windows. Will you be planning on removing that?
Removing them, sir.
Okay.
I want people to be able to see inside the building.
Right, right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I have for now, but I may have some follow-up questions later on. Thank you.
Understandable, Mr. Simon. Over to Mr. Regan.
Good evening. Thank you for showing up tonight.
No problem.
First and foremost, I believe that we have some pending problems with that whole property. It's not your fault, obviously. I don't know exactly what the violations that are pending are because our computer system where we operate under is not functioning. I've been trying to find that out. But I do know that the people that own the property have some exterior issues that need to be complied with. Don't get me wrong, I am not a fan of these types of what I would call nightclubs. I served in law enforcement for almost 4 decades. In the community I worked in, we had a lot of nightclubs, and every evening, the officers, we would spend most of our time up there instead of patrolling the city that I worked in. I'm not a prude. Matter of fact, I'll probably have a beer at my dinner tonight. I would imagine I personally have been in several thousand sports bars over the years. And that might be generous, maybe 10,000 times. And never once have I seen a fight. Never once have I seen the police get called. However, this place in the past has had problems, or this building, or the establishments. I think we've been through 5 now in recent memory. But I don't want to see this turning into a nightclub to where there's a fight up there every night. When you go to a nightclub and there's drinking involved, and is there going to be a dance floor here?
Yes, sir.
So you have a dance floor and someone has a drink and they bounce into someone, or even worse, someone offers a drink or wants to have a dance with someone else's girlfriend, and that's where the fight begins. So you're not going to have a cover charge there, correct?
No, sir.
Are you? And I'm not damning you for the sins of others, but please don't
No, I
damn me
understand
for
completely.
these questions, because I've sat here and had people lie to me time and time again, and I'm not saying you're lying to me.
Yes, sir.
Fool me once, shame on me. Do you plan on selling parking spots?
No, sir. No, sir.
You're not going to sell parking spots?
Not at all. Not at all.
Are you going to have VP table sales?
No, sir.
Are you going to have drink minimums?
No, sir.
Okay, you're not going to have drink minimums. There is going to be a dance floor, so you'll have bands or DJs, I guess, playing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And on Sunday, what will your time of operation be on Sundays?
Probably about noon to 1:30.
Are we 1:30 or midnight? I believe the latest you could go on Sunday is midnight.
Okay.
I believe that, but we can check with the city clerk on that.
Okay.
Will you have video surveillance inside and outside the establishment?
Yes, sir.
And you'll agree, and I'm not saying I'm supporting this yet, but before this, if I was going to support this, or if I think it's going to pass, I would add this in, that you would agree to make any video surveillances available to law enforcement upon request?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think Mr. Siam asked about the window coverings. Once again, that was a problem in one of the last establishments we had there. And would you agree to police the lot for trash?
Yes, sir. I plan to get a dumpster for the trash. To rent a dumpster for the trash.
Because there's others, similar establishments that, and you will not be given go cups to go at the end of the
No,
night.
sir. No, sir.
We have establishments, and if you want to ride with me, we'll go take a look at them, where you'll see go cups on the parking lot.
Yes, sir.
Because they've been given go cups. All right, well, I'm going to mull this over. I'm not promising I can support this, but good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Councilman Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome.
Thank you.
There is one question that has, and again, this has been a problem in the past with other establishments. If there is an incident in your establishment and the police have to come, will you allow them in to take care of whatever businesses?
Absolutely. And that was my main reason for no rap music. Like, I wanted R&B, I wanted something that's not going to get people all hyped up and stuff like that. So, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, are there any more questions or comments from the city council? Okay. Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? Okay, come forward, sir. Will you just step to the side?
Yes,
and,
yes, sir.
just in case there's a question. Thank you. Welcome. Please state your name and city and make.
My name is Scott Hoyt, and I live in Florissant, Missouri. I just have a question on, how are you going to police how liquored up your patrons are going to be?
That is a great question.
Because you're focused around liquor. You're not going to be selling any food or anything. I'm just curious on what you're going to
So out
police.
of curiosity, I'm actually from Illinois. I've lived there my whole life. We have to take Illinois Bassett license.
Come to the microphone. Thank you.
Illinois requires a Bassett license to train bartenders. I bartended for 8 years personally. So I'm assuming Missouri also has that ordinance. Really, you hire trained bartenders, you make them get trained up for fake IDs, over serving and stuff like that. So I think having somebody with experience and proper training is a good way to stop the over serving and the over pouring.
Okay, thank you for the question. Thank you for the answer. Okay, are there any more comments or questions from the audience? Seeing none, seeing no further comments, Councilman O'Donnell moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilman Egan. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. This public hearing is closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is old business. The first item is bills for second reading, and there are none tonight. The next item on the agenda is new business. The first item under new business is board appointments. Mayor Lowry.
Thank you. I wish to appoint Mike Kister from Ward 9 to the Emergency Management Commission.
Councilman Egan moves to approve the mayor's appointment, seconded by Councilman Caputa. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The appointment is made.
Thank you. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Are there any other appointments from the council? Okay. I see none. We will move on to requests. Councilman Siam moves to approve a beer and wine with Sunday liquor license for Jimmy Nails Bar located at 12757 New Halls Ferry Road, seconded by Councilman O'Donnell. Would like to suspend the rules and invite the petitioner forward. First, we need a motion. Is there a motion to suspend the rules? I have made the motion. Is there a second? Okay. There's no second to suspend the rules this evening. Okay. It looks like you want to speak tonight.
Well, I'll introduce myself. I'm Chuck Billings from Brent Trigger and Billings, and I'm here on
Pardon me, sir. I apologize. We would have to suspend the rules, actually, to have you come in and speak on the issue tonight. So thank you for being here.
It's fine.
We'll consider this.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you all for your consideration.
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay. All in favor?
Roll call vote.
Oh, roll call vote. Okay. Councilman O'Donnell has a question.
Thank you, Mr. President. I know, directed to the city attorney. And could I just, Ms. Graves, make sure what we're looking at, and that is the application is for simply beer and wine? It's for just beer and wine. And the expression of a Sunday liquor license is by extension of that only. That doesn't mean a full liquor license for that day. Is that correct? It just means that whatever they would be getting for the week would also be applied to that day. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Can we reread this and then have a roll call vote? We'd like to reread. Yes. Okay, will you reread it? This is a motion to approve a beer and wine with Sunday liquor license for Jimmy's Nail Bar located at 12757 New Halls Ferry Road. The second was from first from Siam, second from O'Donnell, and now let's do a roll call vote.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Siam. Harris,
Yes.
Manganelli. No. Egan. No. Caputa.
No.
Okay, we have a tie. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, since there's a tie, this means that the motion fails. Okay. Councilman Egan moves to accept the transfer of a special use number 8756 from Clockgott Enterprises LLC, doing business as Little Caesars Pizza, to Mo Pizza One LLC, doing business as Little Caesars, to allow for a restaurant located at 340 Howder Shell Road, seconded by Councilman Manganelli. Any discussion?
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules and invite the petitioner present. If the petitioner is present, come forward.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Egan to suspend the rules. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Councilman Manganelli has seconded. Is the petitioner present? Okay, please come forward, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen. Can you state your name for the record, please?
My name is Sukhvinder Dhaliwal from Jonestown, Pennsylvania.
My name is Kamal Kumar. I'm living in 340 Howder Shell Road, Florissant, Missouri.
Very good. The reason I've called you up, folks, is because I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. This is in my ward, that you're going to operate this place exactly as it's being operated right now. Is that correct?
Yes, it's exactly the same. Nothing has changed. We're doing the same operations as they were doing earlier.
The hours are going to be the same?
Yes.
The food's going to be the same?
All same, yes.
There's no alcohol involved in this?
No, sir.
Okay. And I say because I've had special use permits where then they come back for an alcohol amendment after we get the special use permit. So this is going to be the standard Little Caesars that's been running there for 20 some odd years, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and since I have you here, I have a pretty big problem with trash on that lot. Now I know we all know the problem is not the Little Caesars. It's the dollar store, whatever that is there. But I would ask that you keep a bin outside your door.
Yes, we do. Right now, we do have 2 small bins in the front, and we do have a big dumpster at the back of the restaurant.
Very good. We just want to make sure maybe I can get you a little effort to at least police the part right in front of yours where I know trash will blow down there, but I would appreciate if you helped us keep that property up.
Sure. Yeah, we'll take care of it properly, and we'll try to have another bin out there if 2 is not enough down there then.
Very good. Thank you very much. Good luck. I appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any more questions or comments from the council? Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Let's see. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried and the application is accepted. Okay, Councilman Caputa moves to approve an animal permit to keep 2 female chickens for Jennifer Ritchie for the property located at 595 Patterson Lane, seconded by Councilman Cyan. Is there any discussion? Okay, I do have a question about this one. In the application that says, and I should have asked this earlier, but it says 4 chickens. That Jennifer Ritchie is requesting 4 chickens, and in this request here in the heading right here, it says 2 female chickens. I just want to clarify that.
I'm going to be honest with you. I did not put this one in the system.
Okay.
But they can have up to 4, so we can make sure that the permit says 4.
Okay. Do I need to amend this? This
for the
motion?
In the second, yes, please.
Okay, so I would like to amend the motion to change the number of female chickens approved to 4 instead of 2. Councilman Egan has seconded this. And I guess I need to, all in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so this is now a request to approve an animal permit to keep 4 female chickens for Jennifer Ritchie for the property located at 595 Patterson Lane. This has also been recommended by the Health Department. And all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, hearing none opposed, the motion carried and the application is approved. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is resolutions. Resolution number 1069. No problem.
Resolution of the City of Florissant adopting the 2025 through 2030 St. Louis Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Councilman Egan moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman O'Donnell. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Against?
Resolution of the City of Florissant adopting the 2025 through 2030 St. Louis Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Councilman Egan moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilman Caputa. Roll call vote, please.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Siam? Yes. Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli?
Yes.
Egan? Yes. Caputa?
Yes.
Before the final vote is taken,
I
is
need
there?
to read the resolution.
Oh, please read the resolution.
Resolution of the City of Florissant adopting the 2025 through 2030 St. Louis Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this resolution? Okay, come forward, sir. Hold on, let me turn you on. I apologize. Your name and city. Yes.
Scott Hoyt. And where do you get this resolution that we can view?
It's on the website, actually. It's in our packet. So if you go to florissantmo.com and then go to the government tab and look under council, and this is true for any of our meetings.
Is it something that you...
No, the full packet's not right there in that paper version because it'd be just a lot of
No,
paper.
I'm talking about hung up on the wall.
It is hung up on the
Yes.
bulletin board.
Okay.
Yes.
I will get that.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Mr. Hoyt. Okay, I see another comment. Please come forward. Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and your city.
Jubin Lee live in city of Florissant. So this resolution and next other resolutions, I have read in the florissantmo.com 4 things, My question is, this is a resolution, which means council has to be discussed first and introduced, right? But there was no any open or closed meeting information about when you guys discussed, okay? I have been voicing up this city is not transparent, and all that sunshine law request kind of violations there, and I would like to make comments. You guys have to keep all the meeting closed, open, and minutes. And I don't see anything about all 4 resolution meeting. So you guys doing without any discussion, introduce all that stuff.
Okay, so when we have resolutions, they're in our packet, and we discuss them at this meetings. We do our homework beforehand, and if we have questions, we discuss it. This is a completely open meeting for resolution. So do you have any particular comments or questions about
No,
this resolution?
I keep saying these council members don't understand legal requirement, and this meeting, it can be closed. I may be not, necessary to know, but there is no record. You guys had a meeting, discuss resolutions.
Okay. Thank you for your concern. I appreciate
Okay,
it.
thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are there any more comments or questions from the audience? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Siam? Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa?
Yes.
Resolution number 1069 passes. Resolution number 1070.
I'm going to butcher this name. Resolution of the Florissant City Council authorizing an engagement with Sikich CPA LLC for an audit for the financial statements for the fiscal year ended November 30th, 2023.
Councilman Egan moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Caputa. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Against?
Resolution of the Florissant City Council authorizing an engagement with Sikich CPA LLC for an audit of the financial statements for the fiscal year ended November 30th, 2023.
Councilman Egan moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilman O'Donnell. Roll call vote, please.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Siam? Yes. Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Resolution of the Florissant City Council authorizing engagement with Sikich CPA LLC for an audit of the fiscal statements for the financial statements for the fiscal year ended November 30th, 2023.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this resolution? Please come forward. This is the resolution, yes, Sikich CPA.
Okay, so you guys are paying extra fee for, according to Mr. Sam Johnson's, this resolution, and it sounds like it shouldn't be that way. It's kind of, I wanted to ask, what was the extra fee you guys paid for 2022 audit, and what was the for extra fee 2023 audit? I would like to ask about that.
I do believe I remember seeing that in the packet. If you want to stick around, I can show you afterwards.
I know the package. I read everything. I read the whole agenda, full pages, okay?
Great.
My question is that it wasn't clear what was it. So Mr. Sam Johnson is attending here. I would like to ask about the detail.
Okay. I understand you're wanting to seek more information
What
about
was
that.
the extra
and
fee?
Willing to stick around afterwards and
No, I would
discuss
like to discuss with all the citizens why we are paying all the extra fee, what was it all about, okay?
I hear your question.
Yes.
And, we're gonna move on, and we can talk more about that afterwards. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, are there any more comments? Okay. Let's see. Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Siam? Yes. Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa?
Resolution number 1070 passes. Resolution number 1071.
Resolution of the City of Florissant updating the investment policy of the City of Florissant.
Councilman Manganelli moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Egan. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Against?
Resolution of the City of Florissant updating the investment policy of the City of Florissant.
Councilman O'Donnell moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilman Siam. Roll call vote, please.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Siam? Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa?
Before the final vote is
Hold on.
taken,
Wait.
please read the.
Resolution of the City of Florissant updating the investment policy of the City of Florissant.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this resolution? Please come forward. Hold on, let me turn you on. Okay.
Jubilee, City of Florissant. So I always have been asking the city many times, almost 2 years, a lot of stuff, but it never answered correctly. Even last time when I asked the DNA test, all that stuff, no one is answering correct answers.
This has to be on, we're talking about the updating the investment policy.
I understand.
So please make comments on
Yes,
the
that is the
resolution
same
we're
thing.
on.
I read that, okay? So, this investment policy, the document saying it was out of dated, all that stuff, correct? And then, why it was out of dated? We had a PhD, city clock, and everything is, outdated. I went to audit.mo.gov. Yes, you guys updated up to 2024 annual financial report. It's starting it from zero. It cleared out everything. Okay? So you guys not doing things correctly. It just happened. You just dismissed me last time in the council meeting too. You guys are not answering. Council meeting is supposed to, communicate with the citizen and council members correctly. I never get answers.
Okay. Would you like to make any comments on this particular matter?
That's what I'm saying. I asked the question why it was out of dated. Who is the charge of that? Why it was, since when it was outdated? And last meeting, you guys are saying at the 2022, we had $19 million surplus, okay? And I found it,
I think we're off topic again.
Yeah, this is because you had 90 million surplus, so you had to update the.
Ma'am, I hear your comment and I hear your concern over and over again, and we're going to move on. We're going to call for the question now. Ma'am. Ma'am, please step away. Are there any more comments on this particular resolution? Okay. Yes. Okay, we are hearing, we have called for the question. So clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
O'Donnell? Yes. Siam? Yes. Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa?
Yes.
Resolution number 1071 passes. Resolution number 1072.
A resolution authorizing the city of Florissant, Missouri to enter into an intergovernmental cooperation agreement for the investments of public funds through the Missouri Securities Investment Program.
Councilman Egan moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Caputa. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Against?
Resolution authorizing the city of Florissant, Missouri to enter into an intergovernmental cooperation agreement for the investment of public funds through the Missouri Securities Investment Program.
Councilman Manganelli moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilman Siam. Roll call vote, please.
O'Donnell? Yes. Siam? Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. A resolution authorizing the city of Florissant, Missouri to enter into an intergovernmental cooperation agreement for the investment of public funds through the Missouri Securities Investment Program.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this resolution? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
O'Donnell? Yes. Siam? Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa?
Yes.
Resolution number 1072 passes. The next item on the agenda is bills for a first reading. Bill number 10075.
Ordinance amending the 2025 annual budget by amending the Public Works Department personnel schedule by adding and deleting certain job classifications.
Councilman Caputa moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Egan. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Against?
Ordinance amending the 2025 annual budget by amending the Public Works Department personnel schedule by adding and deleting certain job classifications.
Councilman Caputa moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilman Egan. Roll call vote, please.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Yes. Egan. Yes. Caputa.
Yes.
Ordinance amending the 2025 annual budget by amending the Public Works Department personnel schedule by adding and deleting certain job classifications.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Yes. Egan. Yes. Caputa.
Yes.
Bill number 10075 passes and becomes ordinance number 9073. Bill number 10076.
Ordinance authorizing a transfer of special use number 8756 from Clotgott Enterprises LLC, DBA Little Caesars Pizza, to Mo Pizza 1 LLC, DBA Little Caesars, to allow for a restaurant located at 340 Howder Shell Road.
Councilman Egan moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Caputa. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Against?
Ordinance authorizing a transfer of special use number 8756 from Clotgott Enterprises LLC, DBA Little Caesars Pizza, to Mo Pizza 1 LLC, DBA Little Caesars, to allow for a restaurant located at 340 Howder Shell Road.
Councilman Egan moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilman Caputa.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Yes. Egan. Yes. Caputa.
Yes.
Ordinance authorizing a transfer of special use number 8756 from Clotgott Enterprises LLC, DBA Little Caesars Pizza, to Mo Pizza 1 LLC, DBA Little Caesars, to allow for a restaurant located at 340 Howder Shell Road.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Yes. Egan. Yes. Caputa.
Yes.
Bill number 10076 passes and becomes ordinance number 9074. Bill number 10077.
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to special use permit number 8097 to allow for a change in exterior wall stain color for the property located at 370 North Highway 67.
Okay. Bill number 10078.
Ordinance authorizing the rezoning of the property for Southside Property LLC from B3 Extensive Business District to a B5 Planned Commercial District for the property located at 1280 North Highway 67.
Bill number 10079.
Ordinance authorizing a special use permit for Jamel Graham and Richard Young Jr., DBA Cocktail Corner, to allow for a tavern cocktail lounge for the property located at 1752 through 1756 North New Florissant Road. Ooh.
Bill number 10080.
Ordinance authorizing an appropriation of $22,815 for the General Revenue Fund to account number 101-5500-102-0000000 professional services for storm damage cleanup caused by the March 2025 tornado.
Councilman Caputa moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Egan. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance authorizing appropriation of $22,815 from the General Revenue Fund to account number 101-5500-012-0000000 professional services for storm damage cleanup caused by the March 2025 tornado.
Councilman Egan moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilman Caputa.
O'Donnell.
Yes.
Siam. Harris.
Yes.
Manganelli. Yes. Egan. Yes. Caputa.
Yes.
Ordinance authorizing appropriation of $22,815 from the General Revenue Fund to account number 1015500, 102000000, professional services for storm damage cleanup caused by the March 2025 tornado.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this bill? Hearing none, oh, is there a comment? Okay, hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Siam? Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli? Egan? Caputa.
Bill number 10080 passes and becomes ordinance number 9075. Bill number 10081.
Ordinance authorizing appropriation of $68,897.44 from the General Revenue Fund to account number 209-56100-40025-0007, capital additions, Showmobile repair, to repair the Showmobile trailer damaged by the March 2025 tornado.
Councilman Egan moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Caputa.
Ordinance authorizing appropriation of $68,897.44 from the General Revenue Fund to account number 209-56100-40025-0007, capital additions, Showmobile repair, to repair the mobile stage trailer damaged by the March 2025 tornado.
Councilman Caputa moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilman Manganelli.
O'Donnell?
Yes.
Siam? Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli? Egan? Caputa.
Before,
Ordinance
Go ahead.
authorizing an amendment of $68,897.44 from the General Revenue Fund to account number 209-56100-40025-0007, capital additions, Showmobile repair, to repair the mobile stage trailer damaged by the March 2025 tornado.
before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this bill? Please come forward. Okay, your name and city, sir. Hold on, let me turn you on. There
Hoyt,
you go.
and I live in Florissant, Missouri. I'm a resident of Florissant, and I'm just concerned of how much we're spending right here. I know it's repairs, but that is an awful lot of money. Did we just go with the first bid?
Mm-hmm. Well, since the Showmobile, are you familiar with what that is? It's like a mobile stage. Okay, so this was actually an insurance claim. And so that's the amount of the claim that's covered by insurance, less a $1,000 deductible. So the city's really only paying out $1,000 for the deductible, and the other part is to repair. That's the cost of the repair. Like if you were to repair your car and you went and you got a bid for it, that's how much it would cost to repair this particular equipment.
Right, but did you get a couple of bids for it, or just, okay. So you did get more than one bid, just not just go with the first one that.
Right,
Okay.
and yes, and of course, that, like the president said, is that money is really going to be reimbursed by the insurance company, all except for $1,000.
Right, but we paid for that insurance. I'm just making sure that.
Yeah, no, you're right. I thought I answered that part, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you for the question. Okay, is there any more comments? All right. Let's see, where am I here? Okay, hearing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
O'Donnell? Yes. Siam? Harris?
Yes.
Manganelli? Egan? Caputa.
Bill number 10081 passes and becomes ordinance number 9076. Bill number 10082.
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to Table 3, Traffic Code, Schedule 13, parking prohibited at all times, Table 13A, parking prohibited at all times on certain streets, to amend a section of St. Catherine Street.
Councilman O'Donnell moves for a second reading. Seconded by Councilman Egan.
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to Table 3, Traffic Code, Schedule 13, parking.
I didn't call all in favor or
Oh, I
against on that one.
apologize.
No, my
Didn't hear
fault.
myself.
All in favor? Against? Okay, clerk, please reread it. Thank you.
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to Table 3, Traffic Code, Schedule 13, parking prohibited at all times, Table 13A, parking prohibited at all times on certain streets to amend a section of St. Catherine Street.
Councilman O'Donnell moves for a third reading. Seconded by Councilman Caputo. Roll call vote, please.
O'Donnell? Yes. Cyan? Harris?
Yes.
Meganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Ordinance authorizing an amendment to Table 3, Traffic Code, Schedule 13, parking prohibited at all times, Table 13A, parking prohibited at all times on certain streets to amend a section of St. Catherine.
Before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this bill? Seeing none, clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
O'Donnell? Yes. Cyan? Yes. Harris?
Yes.
Meganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputo?
Bill number 10082 passes and becomes ordinance number 9077. The next item on the agenda is council announcements. Councilman Egan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would talk about some serious stuff here. Old Town Donut has been nominated as one of the best donut shops on the planet, and it has passed round number one. Round number one, they beat a donut shop out of Oklahoma City, which I would assume would have been a natural. At any rate, they've got several more rounds to go. It's kind of like an NCAA bracket type system. So I would encourage you, if you're on Facebook, to go to their Facebook page and find out how to vote for Old Town Donuts as one of the best donut shops in the country. And if you're not on Facebook, try their website. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Councilman O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would just like to acknowledge that there are a lot of citizens that volunteer, especially acknowledging those that organize other residents to volunteer on behalf of the city. In that regard, I'd like to recognize and compliment Sharon Missbauer, a resident of Ward 6, who today organized a cleanup at the corner of Lafayette and St. Francis. That's adjacent or right at the edge of the Midwest Pest. There is a island there that was overgrown. It is actually a fairy garden that walkers and kids especially put trinkets in there and various types of things. That was all cleaned up today, and there was a lot of effort and several people, so I acknowledge Sharon Missbauer and thank her for that. All of the volunteers for their effort, not only in volunteering, but on their work on behalf of the city. So that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Caputo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Been getting a few phone calls on trash throughout the city. People be kind of conscious, so you do not throw your trash outside of your car. You know, I've seen people driving down the street and they throw their bags of trash out. Come on, let's do better than that. Florissant can do better. I know I'm speaking to the choir, but if you know anybody that does that, reach out to them and tell them. Let's keep our community clean instead of throwing all your trash outside your window. Bring it home, throw it in your own trash can. Also, June 14th is also Flag Day, so be proud, be out there, put your flag out, put your colors out for Flag Day, June 14th, and also, I hate to say this, but it's the United States Army birthday. 250 years. We have ours coming up in another few months, though. I'm a Marine, so us and the Army give each other a lot of trouble. But it's all in good fun. And also, June 18th at 6 p.m., City of Florissant, along with the American Legion, is holding a flag ceremony. Instead of doing the flag retirement like we did actually for Flag Day, this is something different we're doing. So this will be outside of City Hall, right in the front there, June 18th at 6 p.m. We will be having a flag folding ceremony. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Caputa. I saw one today, an announcement about, that I thought was a really great idea. We have a e-gaming center over the Egan Center. It's a really state-of-the-art esports arena. And on June 24th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., they're going to have anybody in the community. I thought maybe it was just for kids, but it's not. So anybody in the community can come and play games for free there that evening against the police department. So even if I don't play, I kind of want to go see that. And so there's several games, including Mario Kart. That's the only one I knew of. I think there's a basketball game. So there, they also have not just that, but they have also board games. They have a table there, and there's board games there too. So 4 to 8, June 24th. I think there's a registration link, so they probably want to know because they're going to also offer free pizza and drinks. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I wanted to mention that. I want to see a lot of people there, and I want to see our police department, what kind of gaming skills they have. All right. The next item on the agenda is the message from the mayor.
Thank you. I just had a couple of announcements. I want to talk about a couple of events that are coming up. So on Thursday, June 19th, from 3 to 9, the City of Florissant is co-hosting with St. Louis County Councilwoman Rita Days and Shalonda Webb the Juneteenth Music Festival, which is now going to be at the Deschain Home Association. Originally had it scheduled for St. Ferdinand Park, but the work down there is not quite done yet, so we're going to move it to the Deschain Home Association. There'll be a lot of family fun, food trucks, vendors, a kids zone, and the highlight of the night is going to be the Dirty Mugs Band, which if anybody's ever heard them, it's a great band here in the city of Florissant, great local band. And then we also on June 21st from 10 to 10 and Sunday, June 22nd from 11 to 9 at the Deschain Home Association, we're going to have the Hispanic Festival, which is brought to us by the Hispanic Festival Incorporated. It's a great 2 days of events and certainly some great food, great entertainment. And if you've been there before, you definitely will come back because it's a great time. And so please come out for that event also. So it'll be a very busy weekend. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. The next regular meeting for the City Council will be on Monday, June 23rd, 2025. Councilman Manganelli moves to adjourn the regular meeting, seconded by Councilman Egan. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.